I think it's time for news at Ten Hag.
Bim bom bim bom, bim bom bim bom.
You're listening to the news at 10. Hag.
Today's headlines are Marcus Rashford. I forgot to read this one. Run, Rabiot, run, Rabiot, run, run, run. Don't let your mum negotiate for your son's son's son. And and it's D. David Brentford. Well done, everyone, by the way, there. Spectacularly bad. We're going to talk a bit about Man United now. 3 things to talk about with them. Where should we start? Let's start with Marcus Rashford, right? Rather than Rashford, because they've stuck the word Paris in there. Linked to PSG. The manager's come out and said, that ain't happening. Don't worry about that. Do you think something like that, he's only got just over a year left on his deal, Marcus Rashford, do you think that's come out via his agent, or do you think there's genuine interest? And if so, what do you think the right thing for him to do would be?
I think there's genuine interest. He's got obviously a year left on his contract with the year option. I think the year's in Manchester United's favour, so they can activate that option.
Mm-hmm.
I think he probably needs a change of scenery. I think he's been there.
Do you?
Yeah, he's been there his whole life. Of course, he had that season 1920, where he hit the 17 goals. He was brilliant that season. I think that's where he was up front. Him, Martial, played really well that season. 11 the year after that, and then he only got 4 last season, and he only played 25 games. But for someone of his quality, 4 goals is not enough at all by any stretch. But he just doesn't look like himself. He's always quite happy. He was always quite... Do you know what I mean? He was quite electric when he used to get the ball. He could go past people. One of his biggest attributes was his pace and his movement. And one thing about that was he used to run in behind and cause teams problems. It's like he's almost got caught up now, coming to feet, trying to get on the ball, trying to do something fancy rather than just sticking to basics and doing what you do well, which is your movement off the ball. But he definitely looks like somebody, I think, who needs a fresh challenge, a fresh change. Would PSG, for me, be the right move for him? Probably not.
Why do you say that? Because the league is a lot more easy.
It is, but then you look at what he's going to PSG and you look at who's he going to play ahead of.
Yeah, okay.
In that front line. They've got Messi, Neymar and Mbappe. First of all, Mbappe's got to sanction that deal as well.
Yeah.
Which is obviously because he's got the power. But I think if he's going to go somewhere, he probably would do with a change of scenery, but I'm not quite sure PSG in that dressing room is the right place for him.
Okay. Let's hear from the manager now, Ten Hag, speaking ahead of tomorrow's game against Brentford. He said Rashford is not for sale.
He's really important, and you have seen from the first day I'm in, I'm really happy with him, and definitely I don't want to lose him. He's in our plans, and he will stay in Manchester United.
See, I still think there's a great player in there. I really do.
I think great.
Okay, the year you said he scored 17 goals.
Yeah.
I think that player's still there.
I think he's been very good. I do think people have tried to push him to a level that maybe he's not quite at. I remember when you said he was like a world beater. So I've not quite seen that. He's a very, very good player. But we haven't seen that for a while.
If you wouldn't have bought Jesus and then you would have bought Rashford to play down the middle, would you have been excited?
I would have been excited to the fact he's only 24. And I think with playing down the middle and him knowing that, right, you're going to be our centre forward, you might have been able to get the best out of him. I think it would have been an excitement appointment, although, as I said, 4 goals last season. But Gabriel Jesus out of the 2 is the one I would have preferred to have got, and we've got him. But Rashford just needs to get back to basics, scoring goals, and go back to enjoying your football, because that's the biggest thing. It almost looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he just can't seem to get it off.
Another headline was, run, Rabiot, run, Rabiot, run, run, run. Don't let your mother negotiate for your son's son's son. Right. That deal, thankfully, looks like it's dead now, dead in the water. It's a strange scenario, strange thing that's happening at Man United, isn't it? They're being linked to players, and Arnautovic, of course, was one of them. They've been linked to who? Oh, who's the other player they've been linked to now?
Igalo?
Who is it? No, not
Drogba, Didier.
No. Is it Inzaghi? No.
Yeah.
No, who's it they've been linked to? Anyway, they keep being linked to these players. I'll find out in a minute. It'll jump into mind. Rabiot was another one.
Gakpo?
No. I had one before we started. Rabiot was another player that was linked to the club. Then social media, the world of social media, Man United fans were like, this is horrific, it's getting worse and worse. Do you think...
Well, why is that one so horrific?
Well, because apparently he was just not cutting mustard where he was playing.
At Juve.
At Juve, right?
Yeah. Still playing an awful lot of games last season.
It disrupts the dressing room, is my understanding. And also, it's not just him, you're getting his mum as well, who's part of the deal.
He's only 27.
I know, but But these are excuse me. But these are players that United weren't being linked to, but now because players aren't joining, it's like, right, who do we turn to now? Where do we go now? Who's the next player we turn to? They're not the player United have identified.
Like Frankie de Jong, you've clearly identified.
Right.
But if you're not going to get him, which looks like you're not, who's then option B? Who's C?
But this
who's
is
D?
it. This is the problem.
So I'd like to know where Rabiot was on this.
I don't even know if he was on the list until Tuesday.
Yeah, but you need bodies. Manchester United need bodies in. And I know for Manchester United Football Club, they maybe can't attract the same level of player like City and Liverpool because they're behind in the pecking order. If you've got a chance to go to any of them three, you're going to Liverpool, Man City first. But they should still be able to attract, because they're Manchester United Football Club, some standard of player. Not people's leftovers. I'm talking about players that are still of good quality, good standard. Like a Calvin Phillips who went to Manchester City.
But this is part of the problem, isn't it? Because we're not identifying those players. We're going for players that look good on
FIFA,
Football Manager or whatever. Maybe 2-3 years ago, we're not getting them. Then we're going to Plan B, Plan C. But the plans are being put on the table the day later.
So when Ten Hag took the job, surely there would have been a conversation. These are the players I want.
You'd like to think so.
This is the
I don't think Rabiot was in it. I don't think Arnautovic was in it.
This is the direction the football club I want to go in. Obviously, Arnautovic, for obvious reasons, racist and all that kind of stuff. But surely he would have sat down and said, right, these are the players I want to identify. These are the ones I want to try and bring us in. Here's the list of the players I'd like to work with. This is the direction the football club I'd like it to go in. This is what I need to work on. These are areas where we're weakest. But it almost looks like he's come in and nothing's happened.
Yeah. The other headline was it's D-Day vid Brentford. United got Brentford, of course, at the weekend, 5:30 kick-off on Saturday. How big a game is this? So United lost the opener at home against Brighton. They've got Brentford away. Tough place to go, by the way. We saw that with All Mob last season, first game.
You lot won there quite comfortably. Was it 3-1 last year? I can remember Rashford scoring a good goal down there.
I think it was. But it's totally different now. United, 2 games in, or 1 game in, if you like, all of a sudden this result is massive. And when you bear in mind that our next game, United's next game after that, is on Monday night, Monday week against Liverpool. Then we've got Southampton away, right? And then you've got Leicester away, and then our next home game is against Arsenal. So we'll be having a bet on that, I'm sure. So there's a run of games, that Arsenal game, by the way, live on talkSPORT. There's a run of games that United have got coming up, and it's only up 4 or 5 games, and you think, wow, if we go into the Liverpool game on the back of losing to Brentford and Brighton, even I would say drawing against Brentford, 1 point from 4 going into Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool are going to be hot favourites for that, right? I know it's Man United, Liverpool, and you like to think, players raise a game, but we haven't seen it recently. So I just wonder how big a game it is for United tomorrow.
Look at Arsenal went into last season, 3 games, first 3 games, getting beat, no points on the board. And people look at that. Look, they've done well to finish where they finished, Arsenal, 5th.
Yeah, but the expectation on United is far bigger than Arsenal.
No, but it's not. I don't think it's as big as you think it is anymore. I think
it is, Bentley.
Manchester United, surely Manchester United fans, yourself included, don't think you're going to challenge for the title.
Oh no, every United fan thinks that.
You think but that's just deluded.
What, this season?
You think you're going to challenge for the title?
No, I said every United fan thinks we're not going to challenge this season.
I thought you meant you are.
No. Every United fan thinks we won't challenge this season.
Okay, so what are the expected? Top 4's got to be.
It's got to be, yeah. But you lose against Brentford,
or
even draw, and then go into the Liverpool game. If we've played 3 and have 1 point, that's awful.
It is awful.
And then the pressure on the
Arsenal
next game.
None.
The pressure on Leicester away is the next game after that.
But I think you need to worry about your performances. That's the thing. Brighton came to Old Trafford and passed you lot off the pitch. Yeah. That's the concern. Like for 10, 15 minutes at the start of the game, I think if Bruno scores this chance, maybe completely different game.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, before Bruno had that chance, in the first 30 seconds, we nearly conceded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, straight from kickoff.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's one of them, but I mean, Ten Hag's got a big decision to make with Ronaldo. And if I'm him, I'm playing him.
Yeah, because it's all about the results, right?
Yeah, right.
Doesn't matter what's happening. If he's not fit, I don't care. He's the best we've got.
It's gone from in one game, all right, let's settle down. Let's start to play the Ten Hag way. So we need the result now. Yeah, don't matter performance, we need the result.
100% right. How mad's that? After one game, we just need to get a win.
Get Ronaldo in then.
Yeah, I'd start him.